Anyone that's seen my videos knows that I love Mustangs, but I also love Jeeps. And let me tell you why. I live down in Texas, and we can get more rain in a day than most people can get in a week. There goes the Rubicon leaving out, and Jeeps are really popular down here because it floods so bad. The one thing you don't want to do is get caught out in a rainstorm in Texas in a Mustang. It is not a fun thing to do. And this is a Jeep Wrangler X. It's 4x4. It's got a 3-inch Skyjacker lift kit on it, and got 37 rims on it. And you are not going to get flooded out in this Jeep. It would have to be one major storm for you to get flooded out in this Jeep. So I bought this from a friend of mine because of just that reason. I got really tired of getting caught in rain and being really afraid that I was going to have a problem with my flooding out my Mustang. And man, I'm only like 4 inches off the ground, and that is nothing down here. So I bought this from a guy about 4 years ago, and I did not know I would like a Jeep so much. Man, Jeeps are cool. Jeeps are fun. There's a whole world of people in the Jeep world that I didn't even really know existed. And so I have never regretted buying this Jeep. A guy had this thing for sale for $16,000, and I got it for $15,000. It had 29,000 miles on it, which is nothing for a Jeep. But the thing about this one, it had been kept inside its whole life. It had never been run off-road, never in the woods, never in the mud. They would take it down to Galveston every now and again in the summer. That's mostly when it got, used by the guy I bought it from. Now, the guy that he bought it from, he had left the Jeep stock and had just daily, driving it to work and back all the time. So, he didn't do anything to it. The guy I got it from did everything to it. I didn't do anything to it except, a few things. I changed some sensors out on it. The one thing about a Jeep, you do not want to have any kind of electrical issue. Man, a battery cable going bad or being loose, I found out can give you a absolute nightmare. One day I pulled out of a drugstore, and all of a sudden every light on my dash lit up. And I'm like, what the heck? And it said that my modulator, my brake and ABS modulator valve had went out. It was saying that my traction control had went out. It was just saying everything had went out. Well, what it really was, and I went to an off-road place and let them plug into it to make sure I was reading everything right. What it really was a bad battery end. He had had a battery go out about 4 years before I got it, and he was in Galveston and he couldn't find the replacement battery, so he changed the cable end on the negative side, and he put a different end on it, and it wasn't a very good end. It was one of those real thin, made out of a light metal, and it just wasn't very good at all. And when all that happened, I said, well, the battery needs to be changed, because it wouldn't start every now and then. Every now and again, it wouldn't want to crank up. It would just go click, click, click. So I figured, well, I might as well change the battery anyway. So when I went to take the battery out, I was doing it myself, and man, the cable just fell apart in my hand, the end of it. And so I said, wow. So I went and got another battery. I brought it back, put it in, cranked it up, and I had to go to the store that day. I drove down to the store, and on the way back, every light on the dash went out. And I haven't had any more problems with it till the other day. The other day, I went to Rockport, Texas in it, which is about 220 miles, and I got back, just before I got back home, check engine light come on. Well, I got home and the first thing I did was check that battery to see if anything could be going on with the battery. And sure enough, I had changed the ends out on it, and the positive side had gotten a little bit loose. I guess I didn't tighten it up quite tight enough. So I retightened it, plugged in my handheld. It showed no codes. Check engine light went off. All good. And I've gone to probably 100 miles in it since then. No more check engine light. So if you own a Jeep and you have a check engine light come on, first thing you want to do, if it was me, is check your battery terminals, check your battery. And I said that I changed out the sensors on it. It has 4 sensors on it, oxygen sensors on it, O2 sensors. So I went down and I bought an aftermarket sensor from O'Reilly, put them on, still had check engine light. So I had a recall on the airbags on it. So I took it to the Jeep place in Conroe, Texas, and they said to me, you got a check engine light? And I said, yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. And he said, let me plug into it. He said, it's a sensor on the right side, it's on the passenger side front. And I said, okay. And I said, I changed all 4 of them out. He said, that sensor, one of the sensors on every Jeep is going to have an OEM. It's not going to take an aftermarket. They set the perimeters higher, or lower on it, where it will only work with an OEM to get you to have to buy one Jeep or Chrysler or whatever you want to call it now, OEM sensor. So just so you know, that's what the man at the Jeep place told me. And I bought that sensor, I put it in. Luckily, it was the easiest one in the whole deal to change out. I put it in, light went out. By the time I got home, the light went out. No more problems with the O2 sensors. So if you're hearing this, just remember, one of your sensors at least on a 09 down Jeep, has to be an OEM from what he told me. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up now and just drive on home. But I love my Jeep. I love the Mustangs, but I actually love this Jeep too. It's a really cool vehicle, and the Jeep world is a really cool world. There's a lot to do. We have a jamboree down here every year in Conroe. They have one down in Galveston at the beach every year, and there is it's as big as Mustang. The Jeep world is. The Jeep world is, I never really understood that. I never even knew about it. And it's not really publicized like Mustang is, but American Muscle also owns All Terrain, and All Terrain sells everything for a Jeep that there is. So, you know, they know about it because they're a part of it. So anyway, enjoy your day. I hope you're having a great day. I had to get out and go to the store. It's going to rain tonight, tomorrow, and I don't know, a couple more days, I guess. So again, this is why I bought the Jeep. Have a good day, everybody.